Hi, it's Kari Mathews of Prairie Quilting. Today we are knee deep in the middle of our Lamb That I Love quilt along. Okay, so we are doing our 8th star block down here. Okay, we're getting close to the bottom. The pattern is available through my website, prairiequilting.com. And the fabrics I used, a smattering of Benatex fabrics. So we have American Valor by Cheryl Haynes, and that's our pretty red tonal print. We have Liberty Whites and Celebrate the USA by Kanvas Studio. And those are some of our star prints, our fireworks, and then the white background. And then also Red, White, and Sweet by Nicole DeCamp. And that we have the pretty ginghams and plaids and another star print. So gather your fabrics and let's go ahead and get started. But first, we are going to do our question of the day. So I want to hear the story about your family or friend or yourself that was in the service. And thank you to all of our service people out there for the freedoms that we enjoy. We're so thankful. And so my favorite service person is my father-in-law. My husband's dad was in the Navy and he was an electrician. So I want to hear, and if there's a story behind it, I'd love to hear it. So go ahead and post that in our comments here or in the hashtag on Instagram, Lamb That I Love, QAL. Along with your block, I want to see the block too. All right, let's get started. Okay, for star 8, we are going to be making flying geese 4 at a time. Okay, so we're going to start off with a square and then a larger white square here, and then we're going to go ahead and match it up with 2 smaller blue, this blue star fabric. Okay, so 2 of those squares, and then we're going to go ahead and draw a diagonal line down the whole thing here. All right, we're going to go all the way down, and we're going to go sew down 1/4 inch from both sides of that line. Okay, and then we're going to turn around and come back the other direction. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and cut on that line, okay? All right, and we're going to go ahead and press toward those blue triangles, okay? So we're kind of after a heart shape there. And we should get 2 of those hearts. Okay, now we'll just clip the corners. All right, and next we're going to do the same thing with there's 2 more of those blue star squares. Okay, so we're going to draw diagonal lines on both of those. Okay, so now we're going to match those squares that we just drew the lines up with in the corner that's the line should go perpendicular to that seam, okay? And we'll do that with the other one as well. All right, let's go sew. Okay, for our flying geese 4 at a time, so do you notice how this kind of makes a W here? So at the bottom here of these kind of V's, that's where our needle comes in and goes out. Okay, and we'll turn around and come back the other direction. All right, and now we're going to cut on that line again to cut those units apart. Okay. Okay, let's press away from the white, so toward that dark blue. We'll go ahead and clip off the corners that we have. All right, next we are going to go ahead and match up these quarter square triangles here, the red and this white multi-star again. Okay, so we'll sew from the squared off corner. All right, and we have a little bit of bias edge showing here, so just be careful not to stretch the fabric. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and press toward the red here. Okay, and we'll just clip the corners. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and match these up with these half square triangles. I just love this color blue. It's really pretty. Okay, so we've got bias edge here, so just be careful. All right, and we're going to press toward this larger triangle here. It's just easier to go away from the bulk. All right, let's go ahead and clip our corners off here. Okay, so now we have a 4-patch basically. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and match up, and these diagonal lines are nesting. Okay, same with these right up at the top here. We're going to put a pin. All right, let's go ahead and sew. All right, and I'm going to press toward that blue, the larger triangle. Okay, and our last seam for this fancy pinwheel. Okay, so we can feel here that it's nesting. Okay, and it doesn't really matter which direction you choose on this. Okay, so now we have our 4 flying geese units and our fancy pinwheel. Let's go ahead and finish the block. Okay, so we have kind of a fancy 9-patch laid out here. So let's go ahead and just match up. We're going to make our rows. And for this, I'm going to put a pin. Okay, so I'm going to kind of peel it back and see that it lines up with the center. Okay, and the bottom row. Let's go ahead and sew. Okay, and we're adding our last blocks here. Okay, I'm going to put a pin in this one. And last blocks. Okay, and pressing. We're going to go away from the flying geese. And we're going to go toward the center, so away from the flying geese on this one as well. And I'm using a good amount of steam to just kind of smash that down there, because there's a lot of bulk at that point. All right, and we have our rows together, so let's go ahead and connect them up. And we're going to nest our seams. Okay, I'm going to go to the
the blocks here first, nest of those, and then we will try to find the center because this one is a little bit bigger than the others. So we'll go try to find the center and put a pin in that, okay? All right, and our last row. So once again, we'll start and nest the seams. Okay, and we're gonna go toward the center. All right, there's star 8.
All right, we finished our block, and I'd love to see yours. Post it along with the story of your service person, or just name whoever they are if that's all you want to do, in the comments here, or on Instagram, hashtag Land That I Love QAL. All right, we'll see you next time. Take care.